What if a small, ordinary coin sitting quietly in your pocket was hiding a story far bigger than its size? A story filled with mystery, curiosity, and the kind of detail most people overlook every single day. Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of a 1984 United States one-dime coin. At first glance, it looks just like any other dime you've seen before, something you might not even think twice about. But sometimes, the most common objects carry the most uncommon secrets. This coin, worn by time and passed through countless hands, holds more than just monetary value. It carries history, design, and in some discussions, even surprising possibilities. Imagine holding something so small, yet so deeply connected to millions of unseen stories. That's exactly what makes this coin worth exploring. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover might change how you look at every coin forever. The 1984 dime features a familiar face, one that's been part of American coinage for decades. The design showcases a profile that symbolizes leadership and legacy, a reminder of a past that still influences the present. Around it, you'll notice the word liberty, a term that carries deep meaning and reflects the foundation of a nation. Below, the phrase, "In God we trust," quietly sits, adding another layer of identity to the coin. These details might seem small, but together they form a powerful visual story. Every line, every curve, and every letter has been carefully crafted. This is not just a coin, it's a miniature piece of art. And like all art, its value isn't always obvious at first glance. Sometimes it takes a closer look to truly understand what you're holding. Now turn the coin over and a completely different scene unfolds. On the reverse side, you'll see a torch standing tall, surrounded by olive and oak branches. These elements represent strength, peace, and unity, ideas that have stood the test of time. The words United States of America curve around the top, while one dime sits boldly at the bottom. Between them lies the phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. It's a simple design, yet deeply symbolic. Every detail is intentional, every element meaningful. This is what makes coin collecting so fascinating. There's always more beneath the surface. And for this 1984 dime, that deeper meaning is where the real story begins. At first, you might think this coin is just another piece of everyday change. After all, millions of dimes were produced in 1984, making them widely available. But here's where things get interesting. Not all coins are created equal, even if they look identical at first glance. Small variations, tiny imperfections, or unique characteristics can turn an ordinary coin into something truly special. These differences are often so subtle that only a careful observer can spot them. That's why collectors spend hours examining coins under magnification, searching for that one detail that sets it apart. It's not just about luck, it's about attention to detail. And sometimes that detail can make all the difference. Over the years, stories have surfaced about rare versions of common coins appearing in unexpected places. These stories spark curiosity and fuel the imagination of collectors around the world. In some discussions and listings, certain 1984 dimes have been associated with surprisingly high values. While most remain standard in circulation, a few have caught attention due to specific features or conditions. These cases are rare, but they remind us that even the smallest object can hold unexpected potential. It's not about assuming every coin is valuable, it's about understanding that possibilities exist. And that possibility is what keeps collectors searching, learning, and exploring. Condition plays a huge role in how a coin is perceived. A well-preserved coin with sharp details and minimal wear can stand out significantly compared to one that has been heavily used. Collectors often describe coins using grading terms that reflect their condition. The higher the grade, the more desirable the coin becomes. For a 1984 dime, finding one in near-perfect condition is not impossible, but it's certainly less common. That's why people pay attention to even the smallest signs of wear. A tiny scratch, a slight discoloration, or a worn edge can change everything. It's a delicate balance between time and preservation. Another factor that adds intrigue is the mint mark. On some 1984 dimes, you'll notice a small letter near the date. This letter indicates where the coin was produced. Different mints can produce coins with slight variations, and collectors often seek out specific ones. These differences might not be obvious to the average person, but they matter in the world of coin collecting. It's like a hidden code waiting to be understood. And once you start noticing these details, you can't unsee them. Every coin becomes a puzzle, and every puzzle has the potential to surprise you. Let's talk about the idea that has captured so much attention. In certain reports and collector discussions, there have been mentions of rare coins appearing in listings with extremely high asking prices. Among these, some claims have suggested figures reaching as high as $29 million for exceptionally rare or unique cases. It's important to understand that such figures are often based on specific circumstances, including rarity, condition, and collector demand. Not every coin will reach such levels, but the fact that these discussions exist adds a layer of excitement. It shows how powerful the world of collecting can be. What makes this even more fascinating is the unpredictability. You never really know where a rare coin might appear. It could be in a collection, a drawer, or even an everyday change. This unpredictability is what keeps people engaged. It turns a simple activity into a treasure hunt. And unlike many other hobbies, coin collecting doesn't always require expensive tools or equipment. Sometimes all you need is curiosity and patience. That's what makes it accessible to everyone. Anyone can start looking, and anyone can discover something interesting. There's also a deeper emotional connection involved. Coins are passed from hand to hand, from one generation to another. They carry stories, memories, and moments in time. A 1984 dime might have been used in countless transactions, each one adding to its history. When you hold it, you're not just holding metal, you're holding a piece of the past. This connection is what makes collecting so meaningful. It's not just about value, it's about discovery, and every discovery brings a sense of excitement that's hard to describe. As you begin to look more closely at coins, you start to notice patterns and details you never saw before. The way the light reflects off the surface, the texture of the metal, the precision of the design, it all becomes more noticeable. This shift in perspective changes everything. What once seemed ordinary now feels extraordinary. And that's the beauty of it. It's not about finding something rare every time, it's about appreciating what's already there. The 1984 dime is a perfect example of this transformation. Of course, not every coin will have a remarkable story or an unusual feature, but that doesn't make them any less interesting. Each coin has its own journey, its own path through time. Some might stand out more than others, but all of them contribute to a larger narrative. This perspective helps you appreciate the process, not just the outcome. It turns collecting into an experience rather than a goal. And in that experience, there's always something new to learn. If you're thinking about exploring this world, start simple. Take a closer look at the coins you already have. Examine them carefully, compare them, and see what stands out. You don't need to be an expert to begin. In fact, some of the most interesting discoveries come from beginners who approach things with fresh eyes. The key is to stay curious and keep learning. Every coin has something to teach you, even if it's just a small detail. The story of the 1984 one-dime coin is not just about rarity or value, it's about perspective. It's about seeing something familiar in a completely new way. It's about understanding that even the smallest objects can hold big stories, and sometimes those stories are hidden in plain sight. All it takes is a moment of attention to uncover them. That's what makes this journey so rewarding. So the next time you come across a simple dime, don't rush past it. Take a second look. Notice the details, the design, and the history it carries, because you never know what you might find. Maybe it's just another coin, or maybe it's something more. Something that sparks curiosity, ignites imagination, and reminds you that even the smallest things can hold incredible stories. And that's where the real value lies.